Yeah, obviously we know they're going to play a positive brand of cricket, and so they did, and it's quite exciting for Test cricket. Hey, it's a positive brand. That's all you can sort of say. As a bowler, obviously, you want to try and combat that and try and, I guess, have an impact and try and take wickets. And I thought we did that at one stage. I thought it looked like we could have got him out a little bit earlier. But yeah, I think all in all, a pretty sort of even day, I guess, in that sense. Yeah, I think everyone knows that with the ping ball it's tough under lights, and obviously does a little bit more. I think conditions really got favourable towards England, I guess, in the end when the wind sort of stopped blowing. It was quite gusty and tough. It sort of felt like cyclone was sort of heading back our way at one stage. It was pretty windy and tough, and I thought when it got to the point when they bowled under lights, I think even like our last sort of set, you could see that it was a little bit better and it was a bit more assistance because the wind sort of died down. Obviously under lights, if there's no wind, it's going to swing around, and I think they made full use of that and bowled really well and put us under pressure. And then I guess the flip side of that is if we can do the same tomorrow, build partnerships and try and get through that day bit and try and get ourselves to bowl under lights, we can find ourselves being in a similar sort of position.
Do you think the wind and the conditions had a little bit to do with early on? Obviously you opened up and were looking to swing it, but the assistance disappeared fairly quickly from that wicket and from the atmosphere? Yeah, definitely.
I think Trent Boult is a bowler that played a lot of cricket, and he always used to say that if it's quite gusty and windy, it doesn't swing. And it showed that. I think it swung early doors, and then with the wind, it sort of tends to stop swinging. I think you referred to other things then, your three-quarters, cross seams and sort of wobble seams to try and get assistance off the wicket. And there wasn't a hell of a lot happening. So we tried to see whichever way we can sort of build pressure to try and keep taking wickets. Obviously, they kept scoring at a high rate, but it created chances, and we took those chances, which was quite pleasing.
Last one for me, 250 wicket mark, a special thing for you to be up amongst the elite in terms of New Zealand Test cricket bowling?
Yeah, if you told me the day I started playing Test cricket and get 250 wickets, I would have laughed and said, no, I don't believe you. So it's something that's, pretty special to achieve. I don't really try and focus or figure on that sort of things too much. Just try and find a way of contributing to the team and know those sort of things will take care of itself. But I guess it's the little silver lining in the back end of it, and it's quite nice to celebrate it and I guess toast that with your teammates who's played a big part in all of those.
Was there any surprise at all that England pulled out, albeit in favourable conditions? Because I guess usual wisdom is a last wicket partnership is handy, frustrating for the opposition, but they just ditched it and said, let's get bowling.
No, we sort of expected it. We thought after that dinner break they might come out a little bit harder. I thought they might just get to the point where they're really trying to up the ante and score as quick as they can and get us in there. We try to obviously, I guess, stem that run rate a little bit in the flow and try and obviously eliminate them getting too far ahead of us and keep trying to take wickets, which we did in the back end, which sort of brought it back a little bit for us in that sense. So quite pleasing that, like I said, they play a positive brand, and if the way that we started, if you would have given that score to us in the start of, I guess we would have taken it.
Neil, do you view your role in the attack any differently when you're bowling with a couple of debutants?
So can you repeat that again?
Do you view your role in the attack any differently when you're bowling with debutants? Do you take on more responsibility or anything like that?
No, the guys that's playing currently who made their debuts have played a lot of first-class cricket, and they're well experienced and they know their role. So they've earned their place rightfully in here, and they've been around the squad for many years as well. So they know what they need to do, and they what we sort of do rub off on them, and we learn from each other. My role is sort of either adapting, I guess, in a way. Obviously, a lot of people always know about the short stuff, but whatever the team requires or the conditions in front of us, you try and sum up, I guess. You try and adapt to that. If there's swinging off or movement, you obviously try and exploit those. But when you've got other guys that's better at you in doing it, then the role sort of changes, obviously, and if there's no assistance, then it refers to the short stuff that's been obviously successful over the years. So I guess it's just adapting to what's in front and try and be, I guess, as successful as you can and contribute to the team.
Neil, how much merit do you think people tests have for the future?
Yeah, it's a funny one. I like it. I don't mind it. I know there's a lot of cricketers against it. I think, the ball is something that's always changing and something that they keep working on. But I think it gets to a point where it's no different. under lights than playing at Lords when it gets cloudy and the lights turn on, and it seems to do a lot of more on that day than what it does when it's sunny and seems flat. So I don't think it's too dissimilar. I think it's it gets sort of, I guess, it's something that obviously people gets involved in. There's a pretty good crowd there out there today, and I guess it gets them time to get away from work and the way, I guess, life and things involved now to be able to come to the ground and watch the test match. So a lot of guys against it. I sort of don't mind it. I do enjoy the games I've played at pink ball testing has always been quite exciting and a lot happening in it. So it's pretty good for the game, I personally feel.
George? Can you compare that pitch to the one you played on here in 2019 when you won heavily?
A lot different. I think credit goes to the groundsman. They've had it pretty tough. I live here, so I've sort of seen the weather the way it's been in the last little while, and to even, get a wicket up in the way it's been in the last while is a massive credit to them. So yeah, obviously the preparations was a little bit different to what they probably would have liked or wanted it to be. It was quite soft and tennis ball at the start, and that wind just dried it out quickly. I think in the past there's a bit of firmness to it, and it will break up and crack up. Time will tell. I don't think it will do as much as what it did the last time it was here, and crack and plate, and especially with playing at night, it doesn't have that heat and wear and tear during the day. So I think it will be a pretty good wicket, which allows obviously some good positive cricket, which you saw today. So hopefully it continues.
Do you know what you think a past score might have been in New Zealand if batting first?
Don't know, because we probably would have taken it a little bit different approach. Yeah, it's obviously hard to comment and say on that. Obviously, the wind is something you can't control. We sort of knew that there could be a bit of wind, but we didn't expect the wind to be the way it is. And then you obviously try and adapt to it. So that's something you get anywhere you play around in New Zealand. I guess the weather and the climate and the conditions here can change quite rapidly. So we're sort of used to obviously trying to adapt to things quite quickly and fast and find a way of being successful.
All right, last one.
Just a quick one. When you're watching from home, people will see that the first innings went at 5.5 runs and over, and then we are 30 out for 3 down and stuff like that. For a layman, it is quite difficult to understand these guys playing on the same pitch, but it's not as simple as that, is it?
No, it's not. But yeah, we saw that in England too, the way they batted and the way they played over there too. And the Headingley Test match comes to mind too, where they were 50 for 7 and they kept scoring at a high rate and kept going. So that's obviously the brand of cricket they're playing. Could easily have gone the other way. And then I think everyone knows and can see, I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to see at night time it does swing around and it does seem to do quite a lot off the wicket. So tough period to bat, and I thought we handled it quite well. I thought that's 3 quality England bowlers bowling in conditions that was very favourable is real challenging, and that's what Test cricket is all about.
All right, thanks very much, guys. Cheers.
Thanks.